my loves, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Z, lawyer, YouTuber, and latest wifey. We definitely have a wedding to plan for in under 4 months. I mean, in this economy, however, this is how I planned and saved for my wedding in under 4 months. Backstory: I got engaged in December and I had my wedding in April. So I had 4 months, less than 4 months to plan for the wedding, and this is how I did it. So first things first, please envision your wedding or your big day with your current reality. What I mean by that is that you should actually plan and be realistic with it. If it is 1 naira you have, if it's 2 naira you have, if it's 3 naira you have, please envision your wedding with that budget. Envision your wedding with that reality. Do not want a Temi or Tadela wedding with a 2 naira budget. It's not going to work. And that's where you plan for failure. Please envision your wedding with your current realities. If it is 2 naira you can afford, please do a wedding on that budget. And trust me, you'll be better off for it. You do not want your wedding or your honeymoon interrupted by vendors because you haven't paid, or you have people who you're owing and all whatnot. You've gone on credit to take things and then you have bills piling up. Please do not go making assumptions and expecting that people would help or family to contribute or things will come, or some way you'd have some money from some funds you've never planned for. The second thing you do is set a budget. To be very honest with you, I feel like a budget helps you to plan and track, and also curtail what you would, or tell you how you save or splurge on certain things. With that budget, you're able to say yes or no and stand your ground. The truth about it is that when you're planning your wedding, you're going to see a lot of things that, people will say, like, why don't you do like this, why don't you do like this? Whilst people are telling you do this, do that, no one is actually contributing to your wedding funds in most cases. So please plan your wedding, like I said, envision your wedding, then set a budget. Setting a budget will also help you, because some event planners can be very, very funny, right? You tell your event planner you have a budget of this, and you're giving you something else, whatever service that is way above that. So planning your setting a budget actually helps you to stand your ground on certain things and know that there are things that are non-negotiable, where there are certain things that you can actually do without. Once you're setting your budget, right, decide on things you want to compromise on, rather put in a better context. Decide on things you want to save on and things you want to splurge on, right? For my wedding, I did not compromise on my outfits, food, photography, and things like that. Those were things I was like, this I would go for the high end for this, and then for these other ones I would actually do the barest minimum in some certain things, right? Because it's my wedding, it's my day. I wanted to be happy on that day, not thinking about debts that were coming after us at the end of the day, right? So that's the second thing. Then your location and the time matters, right? If your wedding is during the peak season, you obviously know that your budget is actually going to be higher, or your expenses are going to be higher. But if you pick an off season where vendors are not even working, or things are not even like all G3 and all hushy, then you could get the best prices, right? So your location would matter. A 20 million naira wedding in Lagos would actually look like a 30-40 million naira wedding in the East, should be told, right? So it depends on your location. It also depends on the timing in the year that you've decided to plan your wedding. So if you're working on a budget, please pick a time that isn't so seasonal. Like, avoid December period and January. Those are like high seasons for those vendors. Then Easter also is also very high sometimes, so around the other months of the year. However, also be cautious of the raining season, because it's September but still raining in Lagos. So that should help you do your math. Next thing to decide on are your non-negotiables. The truth about it is that regardless of what the economy is saying, it's still going to be your one big day. We all plan to get married once in our lives, right? So decide on your non-negotiables, right? No one is actually going to remember the dance troops at your wedding, but someone would think about the bad jollof fries they had at your wedding. Someone would always remember the horrible small chops they had at your wedding. So food is something that I feel like you should splurge on, right? You could have 2 types of vendors, the ones who are high end and the ones who are low end, so that it helps you balance your equation, right? And then you can get the high-end one to cater to a specific number of people, whereas you have the low-end one have to deal with quantity. You just have to balance it. There are some low-end vendors who prepare very beautiful, delicious, well-garnished food for a very fair price and affordable price, whereas there are high-end vendors who, aesthetics and all whatnot, all those prawns and fire, blah 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 blah, hanging kebabs and all whatnot. It comes at a fee, it comes at a price. It's all for the shenanigans. It's part of the shenanigans, right? It's part of the aesthetics and the thing that goes in the industry. But there are other affordable vendors that will just give you a normal plate. However, the rice will be fantastic and the moimo will be to die for. So you can play around that, have more than one vendor. However, you can decide to have a high-end or a low-end vendor. Also, your outfits, for the brides, it's your big day. Please do not compromise on your outfit. Please look your best. However, look your best within a budget. If you don't have a Vicky James budget, please, you can also go for someone else who is good. There are some vendors, there are some designers who are actually very beautiful, who are actually very good at what they do. Your dress doesn't have to cost $1 million for you to look good. Truth about it is that sometimes even the dresses that cost that much do not look as beautiful as dresses that are cheaper. That's the truth. However, you need to know your body type, know the strength of your designer, and actually work with your budget. Do not expect a 1 million naira dress for something you paid 50,000 naira for. However, it depends on the capacity and the competence of the person you're choosing to go for, right? It's not a time for you to gamble. However, make wise decisions. Like I said, I'd rather have a quiet wedding, a simple wedding, and enjoy the rest of my life than having to live in regrets because I chose to please a few people as opposed to work with what works for me. Because at the end of the day, once you're getting married, you're matured enough to, care less about what people say. So if at this stage of your life, you're still being governed or you're still being regulated by what will people say, how people will perceive you, then I don't think you're ready to get married. Because at the end of the day, it's your world, it's your wedding, it's your time. People will just come, another Saturday will come, another wedding will come, and then you're still neck deep in debts, right? The next thing you want to know is that after party is actually not a must for everybody. The truth is, you must not have an after party because in this time and age, there's an after party menu, there's an after party DJ, there's an after party MC, there are other crops and props that they use for after parties, gorillas and everything. It all comes at a price. So you can actually do without all those things and still have a fantastic wedding. Honestly, what I would say is there are things you can, like I said in the other one, there are things you can save on or splurge on. I'd rather go for an event planner as opposed to a bridal stylist. You know why? Because event planners, affordable event planners will get you the best deals, supposedly, but you still have to be on your toes with them because some event planners can be moving mad at this point, but you still have to be on your toes with them, right? But I think you can do without a bridal stylist because at the end of the day, in fact, let's just check what ChatGPT has to say. So you can style yourself. You have friends, you have families, you have sisters, you have people. You even have websites that would help you pick your colors, pick your outfits. You don't necessarily need a bridal stylist, but I tell you, you need a planner and a coordinator if you truly want to enjoy your day. You do not want to leave things at the hands of family or relatives that you're not sure of, because at the end of the day, once you're paying for a service, you're at a better position. But once you're getting that for charity, no one will really give their all. Sometimes, right? It's not always the case. Also, please, the final thing I'll say with this is track your expenses. I'd actually show you like the templates I used here, right? This was a template I used and I had to track everything. Have a debt-free wedding. You do not need to loan money or do stuff. You will get favors from people. Like if you see my tracker, you see that there were some favors we got from family and friends as well. We all had all those tracked. Please, there are things that would actually creep in, but please do your best to enjoy your day, but do everything within your means, right? Do not try to please anyone. Ensure that you're pleasing yourself. So I hope this video has helped you to plan. Also, if you're in the diaspora, something that helped us to save, I mean, I've spoken about plan, something that helped us to save, right, is if you're in the diaspora, I mean, the inflation is at your advantage now. I mean, check what the dollar is to the naira or the pound is to the naira. So whenever you see that the inflation has happened and then the dollar has risen or the pound has risen again, that's when you send the bulk money. That's the truth about it. If your partner is here and you're there, you send the bulk money when there's an increase so that you maximize that. That's one of the ways to save on that. So saving for your wedding, I mean, if you're planning a wedding, you should start saving even from today, even without having a suitor or something, or having a spouse. That's part of the faith work, I would say, right? All right, so these were all that I did to plan my wedding, and I had a beautiful wedding. I hope that also learn to delegate, please. Learn to delegate. Leave things to people, give things to people to do, but ensure that you're on their toes. Your event planner is not you. You're actually the main event planner. She's not you. Be on her toes, checkmate everything, ensure that you follow through with things so that you get the best of that day, right? So no one is going to do or plan your wedding or give you what you want for yourself except you. So please be on your toes as the bride. Sometimes the grooms are like a bit laid back, right? But be on your toes and ensure that you have the best day. So as you plan for your wedding, I wish you the very best and all my love.